should you put a big down payment on your Tesla purchase? There's a little bit of cases between the two of them, but let's talk about which one makes a lot of sense. This was inspired by Bearded Tesla because he's been on this thing where he's trying to get a free Tesla through leasing, and Tesla, I guess, adjusted the lease payment in his area where you actually cannot put more than $5,500 on a lease. But actually in the California area, we're still pretty fortunate with this because I was tinkering around with a lease here and we were able to get it to show up to $8,800 down or $8,700 on a lease, because if you put that much down, I guess we'll talk about leases first, you can get some pretty crazy low payments at $144. But here's the case on why you shouldn't put that much money down on a lease, because in the event there is some sort of accident and the vehicle gets totaled, knock on wood, you actually don't get all that money back. The insurance company just pays whatever the value of the vehicle is at that time. And so you could lose a portion of that big down payment if you were to do that. In the book, typically people say if you're going to be doing leasing, you want to put zero down on a lease as minimal as possible. Tesla is still going to want you to do like $2,000 to $3,000. So that's probably the minimum you're going to do. If we switch to financing, the case by case, it kind of differences, or the strategy differences on this. It depends on what the interest rate at the time. You're still going to want to put 10 to 20% down, but then there's an opportunity cost that comes with it. So if you get 0%, then yes, the cash you save in the bank that you can invest or save at a high yield savings at 4%, you're going to want to keep that cash in your bank instead and invest it and save it at that 4%. But if the interest rate goes up to like 5%, 5.69%, then you're going to want to put more cash than less, and you want to put as much down, because you're not going to be able to get, unless you've got investments that are for sure higher than 5.69% and you have uses for that cash, like maybe your own business, then that is where you would put less money and use that cash elsewhere. But that's kind of the two different things. Of course, there's people that say buy your cars in full in cash and never finance a thing, but at 0% for 36 months, if I was someone that had $50,000 or $40,000 and I could finance the vehicle at 0% and use that cash elsewhere, then you can see where that opportunity cost can come into play, and it might make sense to deploy that cash elsewhere instead of buying a depreciating asset that's just going to lose more money, and instead something else. But definitely some pretty interesting stuff. Let us know what your thoughts on it.